In this video, let's talk about all of the new product updates from Atomos, including wireless transmitters, PTZ cameras, headphones, and Atomosphere. Real quick, you're watching VP Land. Special thanks to our sponsors, Blackmagic, View, and LucidLink for helping make our NAB coverage possible. And now, back to the video. So yeah, let's walk through all the new Atomos updates. So let's start with the wireless transmitter.
Sure, so this is what's called the new Atomos TX-RX.
Okay.
So this is our 5G Wi-Fi video transmitter that can do HD SDI 1080, or if you want to do 4K, you can do that over HDMI. And it has a distance of up to 300 meters, or about 950 feet.
Okay.
Each transmitter can go to up to 4 receivers. So we're selling them in a pack where you get 1 transmitter, 1 receiver for $600. But if you want to add additional receivers, they're $350 a receiver.
Okay.
Or you could just buy the transmitter part for say $450, and then use like an Android or an iOS.
Okay, and you can monitor on
You can monitor on your tablet. So,
Okay.
so depending on your setup, like in this case, we're using the dedicated receivers because we're sending SDI from a Red camera and also a Sony camera into our Sumo monitor here, which is a quad split. So I've got one camera coming in here and another coming in here.
Okay.
And then I've got my 2 new PTZ cameras on the bottom here as well.
I'm sure you've been asked this, but I mean, you make monitors.
Yeah.
So do you see like integration in the future, just receiver in the monitor?
Yeah, so it's part of the ecosystem. I mean, you know, when people buy our monitors and recorders, and they always ask us, can you transmit? Can you receive?
Yeah.
How can we do that? Or we end up buying something from somebody else. So we're like, well, we should include that as part of our ecosystem. Yeah.
So this is step 1, part 1 of this.
Yeah, exactly.
And then pricing and availability for these?
So these are available in June, $600 for the pair. If you just want a transmitter, it's $450, or additional receivers are $350. And as I said, the receiver software or the monitor software for iOS and Android is free. Yeah, so the other new thing this year is we've got 3 new PTZ cameras.
Okay.
And we've called them AIEYE, just to be cute. And as you can see, it quite likes you already. It's following you around.
Okay.
This is designed for cost-effective, high-quality video multicam production.
Okay.
You know, so a lot of people have been using, you know, their sort of mirrorless cameras to do, you know, video production, but they're a little bit expensive to do smaller shoots. So if we can put the PTZ cameras in place, they can do a 2 or 3 or 4 camera shoot. But then the other issue is, well, then I need a crew. I need to set up the cameras. So by setting these up, they can use the PTZ as a single operator. So they can have control over the cameras and do the framing. Or they can set something up in automatic mode like what this is.
Okay.
So if you're like an influencer and you're doing a cooking show or you're doing something, it'll follow you around and help you increase your production value without having to increase the size of your crew.
Okay.
Yeah.
And outputs from the camera?
So the outputs, it's got a HD SDI output or a 4K HDMI output of the 4K models. It's also got built-in NDI as well. So lots of different options here.
Okay, and the NDI is included?
NDI is included, and we also have an optional PTZ remote control device, which is about $1,000 that can control up to 4 cameras.
Okay.
And because we're all using the same standard PTZ protocols and network protocols, you can use our controller to control existing PTZ cameras that you may already have, or if you need to add one of our cameras into an existing PTZ workflow, they will be compatible.
Okay, so it just works with the existing
Just works with everything,
system.
yeah.
And sensor size?
It's different for each, so it's a matched sensor and lens size, so they're slightly different. So check out the website for the tech specs, but we are using Sony lenses and sensors, so they're really, you can actually see the color matches really well with all the other professional cameras we're using, so we're really happy with the result we're getting.
And then I can see that this is following me, but what are is it kind of just face detection and tracking, or are there other kind of options as far as with the automatic?
It's pretty basic because we've tried to keep the price simple, so we've just got a basic setting which we've sort of put in the basic parameters what we like for distance and spacing, and we've just kept it pretty preset to keep the price down. So we don't have too many fiddling about.
Okay.
But we actually are thinking about more advanced models in the future, but obviously they would be a little bit more expensive with more controls.
Okay. And what are the 3 options?
So the 3 options for the base camera is a HD 20 times zoom.
Okay.
Then we've got a 4K 12 times zoom and a 4K 20 times zoom. So they're the 3 different models at the moment.
And price range?
So the price range this week.
Yeah.
So at the moment, the HD model is about $1,400. Then the 4K 12X is about $1,900, and then the 20X is about $2,300.
Okay. So asterisk. If you're in the US purchasing, it might be different.
Yeah, it's cheaper overseas due to recent developments. Yeah.
Okay. And headphones.
Headphones. So this is something interesting. So not many people know, but last year we actually bought out the assets of Aton. So Aton's a very famous company from France. They used to make film cameras, and then they made the world's highest quality audio recorders for field recording, which is what that is. So we acquired that. We're going to be working with that technology and bringing it into our equipment over time. And so audio is really, really important to us. We wanted to make a production quality headphone that not only can you use with dedicated recorders, but also on our Ninjas and Shoguns and things like that. Now, these are designed to give you, if you put them on, you'll notice that most of the sound goes away.
It was very squishy.
Now, there's no electronic noise reduction going on. That's just the insulation of the headphones, and it's not coloring the sound. So we felt that's really important, being production people, that you have a direct connection, there's no latency, and there's no digital artifacts or alteration of the sound. You're hearing what you're recording.
Okay.
So it's either for on-set recording or in the edit suite while you're mastering and editing to make sure that your sound is as good as it can be before you upload and stream or whatever you're going to do. So the unique feature of this is, you see there's two connections on the bottom. The reason
so you
is
can switch.
You can actually got two different size plugs. So you can use the small plug, either 3.5 millimeter, or you can use the larger one without having to use an adapter. You just put the right size plug in the right size hole.
Oh, so you can just swap the cable around?
Exactly. And we actually,
clever.
and when you buy it, you actually get two cables as well. So you can go either way, depending on your device. So actually we've got the small 3.5 jack on the Sumo, but on the Aton, it's actually the larger jack, so the larger phono jack. So, you know, this gives you the ability to make sure that you're using a direct connection without compromising adapters, which might, you know, or cause crackle and noise and this sort of stuff in your connection. So really nice, solid production headphones.
Okay. And then also, I've had experience in the past with like pads fading. Are these serviceable or like swappable? They're just the ear pads?
Yeah, I think we'll make this available. We're not sure. They're still pretty new. We think they're going to last pretty well, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And pricing and availability for these?
So these are available next month, and they're $200.
Okay. What do we got here with Atmosphere?
So Atmosphere is our brand new cloud service that every single Atomos customer gets. So hundreds of thousands of Atomos customers, as of NAB, get a free Atmosphere account, which gives them 20 gig of cloud storage.
Okay.
So they can use that to upload existing footage that they have now, share, review, archive, whatever they'd like to do. And also we have direct camera to cloud connection from all of our cloud connected Atomos devices. So if you have a Ninja or a Shogun with a Wi-Fi, you can automatically, progressively upload while you're on shoot directly into Atmosphere.
Okay.
So that then basically your clips arrive into your you can set up a folder for each of your projects or subdivide it around, either review, share with my members of my team who might be doing my editing or whatever they're doing. So basically it's a more video friendly Dropbox style environment that has enough sharing and collaboration features for most people to be able to use. Obviously, we still work directly with Dropbox, we still work directly with Frame.io, and obviously if you're doing a big studio job and you're doing that level of collaboration, you'll still want to be using Frame.io. But this is a good intermediate step, cost effective. And as I said, you get free 20 gigabytes free, but if you need more space, for $10 a month, you get half a terabyte. For $15 a month, you get a full terabyte, and we scale from there. So you just pay for what you use. If you suddenly need 3 terabytes for a project, we can scale you up, and then when you finish, you can delete the footage off and you can scale back down. So completely up to you.
So if you have the footage up there, and then, so are you, well, first off, you mentioned like team sharing and stuff. Are you just paying per storage? Like, is there a charge for seats, or just you're paying per?
So it's you're just paying for storage size. So it's your individual account, and then you can invite other people to join, and they'll get a free account when they sign up, so they don't have to pay anything to work with you. But if they start uploading footage, then they'll slowly upgrade their account.
Right, but I guess if you're uploading the stuff and they're added to it, it's not.
They're just looking at your storage. Right. So you're only paying once.
Okay. Yeah. And as far as for them to get access to the media, like, is it just they're just downloading the individual clips, or can they like kind of batch download or sync?
Yeah, they can just batch download, so you can select all the clips that you want to do, and you can choose whether you want to download the original or download proxies. So we actually make proxies in the background for you as you're uploading. So you might be uploading full ProRes files or some Camera Raw or something like that. We make H.264 proxy files, so they're fast to browse on the web browser. And then you can continue to work with proxies if that's a faster workflow if you're editing, and then link back to the high res later. Or if you just want to work on the high res straight away, then download the full res and keep going.
Okay.
And the whole point of Atmosphere is just like our monitor and recorder. We work with any camera and any workflow. We don't put any limitations to anything, and the same with the cloud. So you can either use files that have come from a Ninja recorder or a Shogun, or you could take the memory card straight out of your camera and load it up and use those files. Or you could use files recorded on another video recorder. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
You know, so because at the end of the day, you know, we're all creatives. We use lots of different equipment, lots of different cameras, and job to job, you may even be changing what editing system am I using. You know, one client may say, I need you to edit this on Final Cut, and the other one might say, I need you to do it on Premiere. Oh no, I need you to grade this on DaVinci Resolve. Okay, fine. Just send your files where you need to send them, do that job, and if you need to change the workflow in the next job, you still can. Yeah. You know, so the whole idea is, and that's why we call it Sphere, we connect to everything, any camera, any cloud, any recorder, any output.
Cool. And there was Atomos Cloud, right? Is this replace it, or is that still a separate?
That's a separate thing. So we still have this sort of the what we call the Atomos Live Production Suite. So you can connect Atomos devices, and then you can choose to do live production switching on a cloud-based solution as well. So this is an addition to that. Okay. So we hadn't ever offered cloud storage before. So this is what Atomos Sphere does.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I saw also here in our interface we had metadata and the ability to add comments and tags.
Yes.
Can you get that out? Can you send it to your editing program?
Yes, you can. All that is captured into the file as well. And the other thing that we've done as well is we have a close relationship with Axle AI. So they're one of the first parties to work with us on Atomos Sphere as we get more and more integration. So the Atomos AI editing solution is a browser-based timeline editing system that if you subscribe to that on top of Atomos Sphere, you can access your clips directly without having to upload or copy them.
Okay.
And you can do your timeline editing and then your mastering and send it out directly with them. And they also have optional transcriptions. So they can do, I think, 19 different languages automatically. And they also have some clever scene detection and scene understanding technology as well. So we're hoping to add more and more of these type of special workflow tools into Atomos Sphere over time.
Okay, cool. So with the Axle AI integration, so you can keep your media already stored in Atomos Sphere, edit with it with Axle AI, but not have to like download or re-upload. It just works with the media that's already stored.
Exactly, it's just directly at those files. And we want to have that level of integration with as many editing systems as possible. So we'll be talking to anybody, any camera manufacturers or any editing systems or any other workflow tools. Please contact us. We'd love to integrate you into what we're doing.
Cool. And this is available publicly now?
Yeah, you can get it right now. So all of our existing users, if they log into My Atomos where they register their equipment, it'll suddenly say, you have a free account. Claim it. It's yours.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Thanks for the updates.
You're most welcome. Thanks for coming over.
That's it for this video. Thanks again to our sponsors for helping make our NAB coverage possible. For more NAB videos, be sure to check out our playlist right here. I'll catch you in the next episode.